The most powerful president in Africa is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All his predecessors are not as powerful as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a clever politician. He knows what he's doing. The Supreme Court has passed a judgment and it is going to empower local government. And this has implications, various implications. The governors are less powerful. Powers have been taken away from the governors and given to the federal government. And who is in charge of the federal government? It is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Many people are rejoicing. We are all rejoicing that yes, now the local government have autonomy. Yes, it is good. The governors have not been trying over the years. They have been taking from the monies accrued to local government and using it for whatever, starving the local government of funds that is required to give this local government, taking it, probably doing other things that we don't know about. But now the local governments are going to having their funds directly from the federal account, federal purse. This makes Tinubu a powerful president, much more powerful. And this is politics 101. He has played his politics. Like I said the other time, no matter the gang up from the north, none of these guys can unseat Tinubu. You need to sit down and understudy the kind of personality Tinubu is. From what I understand about Tinubu, Tinubu is not Nigeria's messiah, but he's a politician. He can play politics. Politics of division, politics of trying to control a narrative. He has been doing that over the years. Look at what happened to Afenifere. When they decided not to support APC and his candidacy, he went in and he divided them. Look at what happened to the NSAS in Lagos. Some people were sent in as decoy into the NSAS movement. The celebrities took over and he divided them. So he's a politician par excellence. Politician in the sense that they know how to control the narrative to their own interests. When I was in school, they told us politics is the ability to share 5 mangoes between 6 persons or 7 persons. Politics is the ability to share 5 mangoes between 6 to 7 persons. How do you share 5 mangoes between 6 to 7 persons? That is politics. That is what Tinubu can play. He can play that politics very well. Now he has empowered himself through the Supreme Court verdict. The sections of the Constitution has stated, that yes, you must have a joint account with the state government. I'm not supporting the governors. It is a good one for local governments to have the autonomy. But how do you look at it from the angle of the federal government will be the ones that will pay directly to the local government? These guys are politicians. They know what they are doing. If you don't understand the way they run their things, you might be lost. You might be a pawn. They are going to play on your intelligence. Whatever. The reason why I'm doing this broadcast is for you to understand some of the things behind that people are not looking at. Tinubu has become much more powerful through this Supreme Court verdict. He has become much more powerful. The verdict negates the rule of law. Yes, Section 162, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, it says that any amount standing to the credit of the Federation account shall be distributed among the federal and state governments and the local government councils in each state on such terms and in such manner as may be prescribed by the National Assembly. Section 6 provides further clarity on the subject matter. Each state shall maintain a special account to be called State Joint Local Government Account, that is the Constitution, into which shall be paid all allocations to the local government councils of the state from the Federation account and from the government of the state. Well, when we talk about federalism, this is an assault on true federalism. I want you to understand me. I'm in for anything that will bring power to the people. I'm in for it. I support the verdict of the Supreme Court, trying to bring power closer to the people. But I'm looking at a fault there. The federal government is going to pay directly to the local government, stripping powers off from the state and putting the powers back to the federal government. Now the federal government is much more powerful. The federal government can control states now. Yes, through finances. Look at what Obasanjo did to Tinubu. Yes, he withheld state allocations from Tinubu to control the state, to pressure, to wield the big stick on Lagos State then by Obasanjo. So now when a federal government is going to pay directly, go past the state's powers have been reduced, added to the federal government. Now the federal government will pay directly to the state, unlike before. The federal government pays into this state local government joint account, then the state now disposes. But now it is not to be so. We are having politics 2007, like I said, Tinubu is going to return to power. Nothing will stop him. I'm not supporting a Bola Ahmed Tinubu Jagaban. I'm supporting a sovereign state of Biafra. I'm supporting Nigeria to dissolve, disembark, balkanize into several small entities, whether it is through regionalism or whatever. Let the people, indigenous people, have power, and let power get closer to the people. That's what I'm after. Tinubu is not a messiah. Tinubu cannot fix Nigeria. They have so much baggage in their hands. They cannot fix Nigeria. They cannot. I will repeat it. It is not in their interest to fix Nigeria. Somebody who benefits from a corrupt system will want to fix that system. Somebody who is daily bread, who has from the beginning of their political career enriched themselves with a corrupt system. Do you think that they want to fix that system? And mind you, they have captured every institution in Nigeria so as to facilitate their corrupt tendencies on milking from the soul of Nigeria. So these people are not messiah. They have no intention to fix Nigeria. So why would I support somebody who has no intention to bring dividends to the people? Even this local government election, whatever, Supreme Court judgment giving powers to local government that their funds will be paid directly to them, it is just to make Tinubu powerful. He is going to control, for instance, a state like Rivers State that have CTC. So the governors have no power over the local government. They are calling for INEC to start conducting an independent election for local government. That is federal. INEC is federal. We have state electoral offices that the governors can control, can overpower, to put their candidates in various local governments. But the power has been taken away from the state government and it is being given to the federal government. So the federal government may decide which local government chairman would be in a state. For instance, like what happened with Hope Uzodinma, it is the Supreme Court that determines. When the Fulani captured the Supreme Court, they fixed Uzodinma on Imo State. Imolites never wanted Uzodinma, but because the federal presence had a leverage over the governors of that state, they had to fix Hope Uzodinma, force him on the people. So if Tinubu has these powers to pay directly to the local government, he could control the narrative. He could also control the states. So he's the most powerful African president ever living at this point in time. The Nigerian president used to be the most powerful, but this current Supreme Court verdict has made the governors powerless and the president powerful. The reasons why politicians go into politics is because of money, finance. Because if there's no money in politics, politicians will not venture into that venture. They will not venture into going to vie for political positions, contracts, and everything, because of there's money. There's money in politics. So he who controls the finance controls the politics. So if federal government is going to control the finance of the local government, that means so many states are in trouble. The reason why our traditional rulers have become puppets is because the state government, the federal government, pays traditional rulers. If you want to do anyhow, they can remove you. If you do anyhow, they can remove you. A state governor can remove a traditional ruler because of finance. They control the finance. So Tinubu is controlling the finance of states now through the local government. Because if you don't like the local government, the federal government might just decide not to pay and give excuses. While capturing the judiciary, you can go to Supreme Court and they give you whatever. So the governors have been fighting that these powers should not go to the federal government. They have been fighting, but now Tinubu is most powerful. There's nothing you can do about it. Far back in Abia State, where I am from, a Labour Party governor, they might just decide one night, wake up and withhold the finance, the funds of local government. The federal government can do so. Intentionally, it can do so. Like I cited, and Obasanjo did the same to Tinubu. And you see there are so many excuses, so many grammar they can blow for holding or withholding local government funds. Just as the state government have been doing at the state level, it has been transferred to the local government level. We are crying that state governors are not funding local government. They are seizing local government funds. It is not good. It's not good. They are the ones even picking local government chairman because they control the funds. Now, it has gone to a federal level. It is the federal government that will dictate local government chairman, who will be local government chairman. So in Rivers State, for example, if they conduct elections, probably there's an amended part of the constitution that will allow INEC conduct Rivers State elections. If INEC conduct election in Rivers State, the magic they did in 2003, because it is federal, they can do it in states. They use that to control the narrative. For instance, a governor does not have that control over security, even though he's being called the chief security officer. It is the federal government that controls the police through the IG. The IG is not answerable, in quote, to state governors. The IG can't be more powerful than a state governor. Yes, a commissioner of police reports to the IG. They can play politics. Politics is just a game. A game. It's all about game. They can see white and call it brown, and they can defend it to the letter. That is game. A governor might direct the police commissioner, give a directive to police commissioner. A police commissioner can refuse that directive and refer to his IG, and the governor has nothing to do about that. One of the governors said that Nigerian governors are just mere caretaker. They don't have any powers. So power belongs to the federal government when it comes to security in a state. If you understand that. Like I said, the commissioner of police can willfully disobey the order of the governor. Look at what happened in Rivers State. Policemen were shooting at a governor. Wow. Now, the federal government has the power to pay money directly to local government. What do you think might happen? If the governor wants to synergize with local government and there's a fraction disagreement, the federal government can use its power of finance, withholding finance, and fight a governor. Yes. So that is what is making Tinubu one of the most powerful presidents in the history of Nigeria. I'm happy that it is happening that local governments can have access funds belonging to them. Local government can have funds to do projects without being cowed by the state. But what I'm not okay with is because it is the federal government that is paying those funds directly. I did do this if I no come. One thing I'm not happy about is that the federal government is the one paying these monies directly, so they can use that to control the narrative. And also, when you start rejoicing about local government having control of their funds, transparency is dead in Nigeria. Nigerians lack the ability to hold their leaders accountable, even at the local government. I will rejoice with you if this was a good news to Nigerians, but it is still the same, just that it has been brought to a minute. The problem is becoming, they bring the problem to local government. When you go to local government, you see that they are jagaban in local government. There are powers that be, there are principalities and powers in local government that will sit on that money because we lack a society that could hold their leaders accountable. The same thing happening with states embezzling funds. The same thing will happen with local governments. Local government will also embezzle funds, and there's nothing you can do about it. Who cares about transparency? It is only the federal government that can intervene in that. Who cares about transparency in Nigeria? Who cares about accountability? So it is not a good news since we have this issue of accountability. I saw some people on social media trying to say this and that. Peter Obi, when he was former governor, he did not conduct local government elections, trying to misinform and misguide people. Peter Obi, according to him, said that it was the court and litigations that stopped him from conducting local government elections. So don't tell us. Because Nigerians fail to do research, fail to read. Most of our youths are just yahoo, no research, no knowledge-based youth programs, nothing. Everybody is just on the internet trying to do one fraud or the other. Majority, these are the people we have as youths that we want to hold a local government chairman accountable, knowing fully well that the Nigerian educational system has been bastardized. I repeat for those that are saying I have 300, 400 in JAM. What is the essence of your 400? It's just like you buy pig milk, you now pour water in it. Water is now plenty. It's the seal milk, but there's no substance. Unlike those days, when you have 250 in JAM, 300 in JAM, you know that these guys, these are a generation that read and do research. The competitiveness for knowledge is much. But in our generation, how many of us know the duties of local government? How many of us know what to do? How many of us know our local government chairman, that it's our right to hold our local government chairman responsible, accountable? We can call our local government chairman and ask him. How many of us know that? How many of us can do that? How many of us are interested? Myopic, illiteracy, cowardice. That is one of the features of the Nigerian youth or the average Nigerian. So it is not a good news when we have all these things in our society. Young people that cannot hold their landlord accountable, their leaders in church accountable. Are they the ones that want to hold local government? So it is just shifting the powers to loot from the state to the local government. Shifting the powers to withhold funds from the state to the federal government. So that's what just happened. Nothing much than that. Nobody should gaslight anybody into anything. For me, it's not a good news as per se. Looking at it holistically, as per se, it's not a good news. It is good news to those local government chairmen that will have charge of funds. And it's a good news to the people whose local government chairman will be transparent. And the local government, that the people who hold their local government chairman accountable. It is good news to them, but any place you find that local government chairman is very far from people, is not accessible, he's like a demigod, it is the same thing that's happening in the state that will still happen in local government, just that it has shifted venue, it has shifted address. It happened in the state withhold funds, embezzle money, no accountability, gaslight you, media campaign, all the show. I've gone to events and we are being told what to report, things to write down. Despite the fact we are seeing something different. So gagging people, it is still in the local government. Where does the rigging take place? The rigging machine, where does it take place? Local government. Polling booths, polling units, boys in the area are being paid to stop you from voting. So these boys will still be empowered the same way. So it's a structure of criminality. There's nothing different from what Tinubu did and what is still going to happen. Although for the first few years, we might see that some will just want to show themselves. But that structure of criminality is there. We'll get to a point that everything will die down. We die down. We die down. But I want to congratulate the president on this thing he has done. It's a bold move, although a criminal structure is a bold move. You are using this to control the politics and return yourself 2027. We know. I've already said it that next election, if like let the El Rufais of this world start blabbing from here to tomorrow, I don't wish you return. I don't wish to remain in this country at this point in time, but I'm just stating the obvious fact. My broadcast is to open the eyes of people to what is the real deal, what is happening. The livestock, this thing is politics. You are leveraging on that to win the hearts of the Fulani. We know the Fulani, we know who they are. That's on another page. This local government is also an applause for your minions, your media aides and attackers to use to campaign. They are already calling Peter Obi's name in the whole mix. Yes, and it's from the public, we know that you want to return. But after 8 years, just remember what you have to do. Do what you need to do for Nigerians and black Africans to preserve their heritage, to discover themselves. Unique identity, the Oduduwa, the Biafra, the Arewa. You know what to do at the end of your tenure if Biafra does not come by the end of this year.